Hello everyone, this is Dr. Edu Krishna, doctorate in Soil Science and Agriculture Chemistry. I welcome all of you to Phoenix Coaching Center's virtual class for agriculture competitive exams. The centers offers coaching classes for various agriculture competitive exams like AO, HO, AO, ADH. The center also offers coaching classes for cracking ICR, JRF and SRF exams. So I am here to guide you the soil science part. So agriculture starts with the soil. So soil science is one of the integral part in all the agriculture competitive exams. So this this class I am going to start with some one of the easy and very familiar topic to all of us and mineral nutrition of the plants. So before getting into the topic, so this one of the book actually is available for the agriculture students who are aspiring for the competitive exam. This will highly helpful for the students for cracking their competitive exam. So when it comes to the topic, essential nutrients. So first nutrient is means is any element that is required to complete the plant life cycle. When it comes to essential nutrients, if any element that should be recognized as an essential element means they should fulfill these three criteria given by Arnold and Stout in 1939. So the first criteria is the plant cannot complete its life cycle in the absence of that element, and the role of one element cannot be substituted by any other element, and the element should directly involve into the plant metabolism. So there are some other elements which are stimulates the plant growth but are not essential. They are considered as the beneficial elements. But these beneficial elements may also become essential for certain crops under specific conditions. So some of the beneficial elements are silicon, sodium, aluminum, cobalt, selenium, and vanadium. So plant needs nutrients for their growth and how much amount they need. Actually, the quantity varies with the plant to plant, and these ranges are categorized into three different classes. So when in the sufficient range, the plant produces optimum yield. So anything below or above the sufficient range is negative to the crop growth, and they cause yield reduction. So we need to ensure that the plant is getting the sufficient nutrients for their optimum yield. So how many nutrients that are required for the plant growth means there are 17 essential elements that have been identified so far, and they have been classified into framework elements and mineral elements. Framework elements are carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. These elements are naturally abundant, and we no need to supply any artificial or synthesis carriers or any fertilizers. And when it comes to mineral elements, these elements are mainly taken up from the soil. And if the soil is deficient in these elements, means we need to supply these nutrients through fertilizers. And these mineral nutrients are classified again into macronutrients and the micronutrients based on their requirement, quantity of requirement by the plant. So when it comes to macronutrients, again they have classified into primary and secondary nutrients based on their specific role within the plant. So the primary nutrients are NPK and secondary nutrients are calcium, magnesium, sulfur. So micronutrients, they are the nutrients that are required in a very less concentration. So their concentration ranges anywhere between 1 ppm to 100 ppm. So there are 8 micronutrients have been classified so far, and these are iron, manganese, zinc, copper, boron, molybdenum, chlorine, nickel. So, so these nutrients are taken up by the various forms, and these I have listed here the list of these essential nutrients along with their respective uptake form. So, agriculture competitive exam point of view, the most frequently asked forms are here are nitrogen, because nitrogen is taken up both in cationic and anionic form, and other forms are phosphorus and boron, molybdenum. So exam point of view, I mean I tell you to remember this nitrogen, phosphorus, boron, molybdenum are more frequently asked in the competitive exam. And when it comes to nutrient availability to the plants, So these nutrients have been categorized into mobile nutrients and immobile nutrients based on their mobility inside the soil system. So if you look at this picture, these immobile nutrients, actually most of them are cationic and they are very restricted movement inside the soil and they slowly available to the plant. When it comes to mobile nutrients, they are freely moved within the soil and they become easily available to the plant. So for exam point of view, so you should remember that all the cationic nutrients are almost all the cationic nutrients are immobile and anionic nutrients are mobile except phosphorus and molybdenum. So, so remember that phosphorus and molybdenum are immobile inside the soil. Similarly, these nutrients also classified as a mobile and immobile based on the mobility inside the plant system. So mobile nutrients are that are easily translocated from the lower part to the younger part, and they mostly produce the symptoms in the older leaves. And immobile nutrients that are not easily translocated, and they mostly produce the symptoms in the younger leaves. So each nutrient plays a specific role within the plants. So I have given the key functions of each nutrients along with their critical limit. So critical limit means the nutrient concentration below which the plant suffers from nutrient deficiency and they produce a visual deficiency symptom. For example, nitrogen, they are an essential component of amino acids, whereas a phosphorus, they are very important for root growth, energy transfer, and potassium, they are important for opening and closing of stomata, and they are also considered as a quality nutrient. And the calcium, they may maintain the cell wall and cell division, and they are also important for growth of meristms. Magnesium, you know that it is a constituent of chlorophyll, and they play a very important role in the photosynthesis. And sulfur, they are a component of sulfur containing amino acids like cysteine, cysteine, and methionine, and they are very important for increasing the oil quality in the oil state. So iron, you know that it is a constituent of heme proteins and they act as activator for many enzymes and they also play very important roles in photosynthesis. And manganese, they are act as a component of water splitting enzyme in the photosystem too. And zinc, it is the component of, three enzymes called carbonic anhydrase, alcoholic dehydrogenase, and superoxide dismutase. And zinc also very important for indole acetic acid synthesis, RNA, gibberellic acid. And it also plays very important role in translocation and transport of phosphorus. And copper, they plays important role in the disease resistance. And molybdenum, they are important for biological nitrogen fixation. And boron, they are important for cell wall formation and stabilization. They also facilitate the transport of potassium in the rod cells. And chlorine, they maintain the osmoregulation. And the nickel is very important for the influencing the urease enzyme activity. So these are all some of the key functions performed by each element within the plant. And if any deficiency, any decrease in their nutrient concentration, these nutrients produce the visual symptoms in the plants. I told you already, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, and magnesium. They are mobile nutrients, and they produce the symptoms mostly in the older leaves. And remaining most of the micronutrients, they produce the symptoms in the younger leaves. So when it comes to nitrogen, it is like a complete chlorosis, and phosphorus, you know that it is a purple color, purple discoloration, potassium necrosis. Like for exam point of view, the most frequently asked symptoms are nitrogen, sulfur, and iron and magnesium. So remember that sulfur and nitrogen symptoms are similar, but sulfur, the symptoms are produced in the younger leaves, whereas in the nitrogen in the older leaves. Similarly, magnesium and iron, they produce the intravenous chlorosis, but only the difference is that magnesium in the older leaves and iron in the younger leaves. So apart from these nutrient deficiency symptoms, there are some disease and disorders that are associated with this nutrition deficiency. And most commonly, frequently asked these disorders or diseases are blossom end rot in tomato, or whiptail of cauliflower by molybdenum deficiency, and Kyra disease in rice. So remember that these disorders may be asked in this from this session. And apart From these, there are some concepts that are associated with the nutrient availability is a law of minimum, which is given by Liebig. So this explains that by you can explain this by the picture here. If you look at this picture, the barrel is having a different height of shape, and the water inside the barrel is mainly controlled by the lowest height of shape. Similarly, so any crop growth is being controlled by the least available nutrient in the soil. So these are the some of the important points or most frequently asked questions from these sessions. So you have to remember all these questions for I mean any exam. So the first is the criteria of essentiality. You know already that Arnold and Stout in 1939. Beneficial elements. I've told six beneficial elements, and heavy metals. Any element is having specific gravity greater than 5, or any element is heavier than calcium is heavy metal. Trace element less than 1 ppm in soil or plant or water, and essential nutrients, 17 essential elements. So immobile nutrients in the soils are importantly this phosphorus and the molybdenum. So both anionic and cationic uptake form is the nitrogen, and recently added essential nutrient is the nickel. And hidden hunger was one of the concepts that the plants suffer from nutrient deficiency, but they do not show any visual symptoms. And some of the important functions, nitrogen is for protein, phosphorus for energy and root growth, potassium for quality nutrient, and calcium cell membrane, magnesium chlorophyll synthesis, and this sulfur oil quality, and copper for disease resistance, and the molybdenum for biological nitrogen fixation. So deficiency symptoms, these mobile nutrients are older leaves, immobile nutrients are at younger leaves. So nitrogen chlorophyll of older leaves, whereas sulfur chlorophyll at younger leaves. So magnesium and iron, it is a similar. Magnesium in older leaves or iron at younger leaves. So phosphorus reddish color. So important some disorders and diseases are this calcium bitter beta apple, magnesium grass tetany disease in cattle actually. So this is actually caused by the cattle's grass in the having the grasses low in magnesium content, and zinc. Another one is white bud of maize and the little leaf of cotton also very important, and boron outright of sugarcane, hollow stem of cauliflower, top thickness of tobacco, and internal cork of apple. This may be sometime may be asked in the competitive exam. And law of minimum is important, is given by Levy. So that's all about this session. I hope I have covered some of the important concepts and these important questions from this session. So maybe some one to two, three questions may be asked from this session alone. So for a remaining topic, I will try to simplify the concepts, and I will try to I mean collect the important points for the exam point of view. So if you have any queries or any feedback, you can get in touch with me education@gmail.com. And that's all about today's class. Thank you. Thank you for watching.